Welcome again, everyone. Welcome. Um, this is what a double dose that is us here earlier this morning, and we're going through the World Cup draft. That's the Qatar FIFA 2022 World Cup draw. We gave it live to you guys, so it's a double dose for the weekend. And what we're here for almost we were here for over 2 hours this morning, so know that you guys enjoy the treat. I'm here alone currently, but I'll be joined by Kems at some point in time. And yeah, big up to everybody and welcome. Remember, as you enter the chat, just like the video, man. Drop a like on the thing so we know, say, yeah, you like the content and keep the thing keep on growing more and more. So big up to everybody for those who are currently on and for those who will be on a little bit later. So before I get into the EPL, because I know that's what we do on a Friday, once there's an EPL weekend, let me just quickly go back through what transpired today in World Cup, in the World Cup draft for those who probably have missed it. So as you guys can see, it was decided that Group A was between Qatar, Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador. Group B is England, USA, Iran, Wales, or Ukraine, or Scotland. Group C, Argentina, Mexico, Poland, and Saudi Arabia. Group D, France, Denmark, Tunisia, Peru, or UAE, or Australia. And Group E had Spain, Germany, Japan, and either New Zealand or Costa Rica. Group F had Belgium, Croatia, Morocco, and Canada. Group G had Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon. Group H, the final group, has Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana. So that's the World Cup draw for you, for those who missed it earlier. And if you missed out on our discussion about who we think will make it through the groups and all that, just click on the video that we did earlier on, man. You'll see it about World Cup draw. So just click on that one and watch it over to get our insights on what we thought about the draw itself and also the teams that we expect to progress from each group. So you can just fast forward back to that one and you'll get all of that. All the information is right there. Um, as it pertains to EPL now, because as I said, on the weekend, once you see us here, you know that we're here to discuss some EPL. And I see Owen in the comment section already. Big up yourself, Owen. Know that you're always here, man. One of the early birds. So big up yourself, family. Um, the standing as it stands in terms of teams that are in with a shot with the title, for those who are still chasing Champions League spot, you know that City is out front on 70 points, and those 70 points have come from 29 games. You have Liverpool in second place on 69 points, and those 69 points is from 29 games as well. Next in line, you have Chelsea, who are on 59 points, and those 59 is from 28 games. Then you have Arsenal, who are in fourth, occupy the final Champions League spot. They're on 54 points from 28 games. So both those teams have a game in hand over most of the teams. Next, in fifth position, you have Tottenham and Spurs with 51 points from 29 games. Then you have Man United in sixth on 50 points from 29 games. Then you have West Ham, who are currently in seventh on 48 points from 30 games. So that's the top seven in EPL. And as you guys know, interesting title race brewing, and some teams are light at the back. For instance, Man City, you know that a few players are missing. Ruben Diaz will be out of the mouth-watering clash that will take place on April the 10th between those two teams. Stones said that he'll be probably ready for that game, but a lot of injuries going on in the Man City team, and some of the Man City fans are worried. While on the other hand, Liverpool fans are happy in a sense that they are back within a shot, and they also have all their players basically fit. So they are looking better out of the two in regards to players that are still good. But next up, look at it and look at the foot of the table now. And the foot of the table though is we have Norwich, who are currently in last place and 17 points from 29 games. Then we have Burnley, who are on 21 points from 27 games. So Burnley has 2 games in hand. We have Watford on 22 points from 29 games. And then we have Everton on 25 points from 27 games. And a lot of people are saying that Everton need to look over their shoulders because they're not too far away from the drop zone. And Mr. Lampard need to pull his socks up before it's too late. I saw his press conference earlier and he was talking about the team and he's saying that everyone is together and he likes how the team looks and all of that. So he's saying that he expect the team to do better because all the players are now playing together and everybody is good right now. So um big talk from the man, but really and truly, what can Lampard really get from out of this current team? If you really ask me, what can he get? Because Ryan is one of those persons that come on this channel and he talks about the team and he says that when you really look at Everton team, is a mixture of players from around 4 different coaches. So around 4 different coaches mixed across. So um when I look at it, he really has a problem with all these mix and match players. So that's an issue for him in regards to getting all these average or subpar players to really get going. Because I mean, all of these players, when you look at the team, they are just not good enough for the league. Some of them are championship quality at best. Michael Keane gave you a couple of good seasons ago, but then I look at him now, and he's just a total different player right now. So if you really look at it, some of these players really need to pull their socks and deal with things better because right now they're not performing up to standard. And if not, I mean, Frank Lampard will be looking at the championship come next season. And if memory serves me right, I think they're also facing some monetary worries because they're in debt in some sense. So they really need to get all that out of the way. But otherwise from that, they really need to get things going properly because if not, they'll be in for a huge fight. And Leverton is one of those teams that they really don't want to go down based on what they have done over the years. And they are one of the only teams in the Premier League that has never been relegated. So, yeah, if you ask me, they need to get their act together. When I look at the Watford team now, Watford, typical yo-yo team. They come up this season, next season, they are right back down into the championship. So, never really expected much of them from the get go. And now with Ray Hudson, I mean, there's a time and place for everything. And I think he himself knows that this job was too much of a tough task to take on. So right now, Watford are facing the drop of Kingston, and I think it's too big for a man like him. But quickly have a man chiming in. Oh, go on, family.
Here it's been a while. It's been a while,
Facts,
but we're
facts.
there, man.
Let's hear I talk about these teams and Everton and Watford and those teams facing the drop. You thinking that them can really make a big escape?
um, I mean, Everton's fixtures not looking kind for the rest of the season, but I think I think they might scrape through. Watford, I think, will go down along with Burnley and Norwich. That will be my predicted three for relegation.
But what I'm looking at a little bit more in depth, Jason, is the fact that when I look at Everton and the mixed match of players that they have, it makes it really hard for Lampard himself. Even though I know that he know what he was getting himself into, but I mean these are players mixed from like 4 different coaches. So Everton really need a revamp in terms of players coming in and all of that. But it's just tough on them right now.
Well, I mean, the writing has been on the wall for a large part of the season from the Benitez era. Everton has been poor for the vast majority of the season, and as I mentioned, the mismatch within the squad doesn't help them. They tried to do some signings when Lampard came in. They brought in Van der Beek, they brought in Dele Alli, but overall, I mean, they just for whatever reason they just haven't meshed. I know injuries haven't been kind to them either because they spent some time without Richarlison, they spent some time without Calvert Lewin. But overall, like Everton have really looked a shadow at themselves. The Everton that we grew up following with the likes of Tim Cahill and all of those former Everton legends. So I mean, it would be sad to see them go down. I guess from a neutral perspective, considering that they were one of the teams that has always been present in the Premier League. But I mean, I always say the league table doesn't lie. So if Everton does go down, then they pretty much deserve to do so.
All right. Um, all right, you're just deep in a few minutes. I really have to get in some things quickly from both of you. So your team, I know that you have been following this closely, and I've seen Tenag being linked, Posh being linked, even Sean Dash has been linked. So when you really look at it, what's really going on with your team, fam?
Boy, um, really and truly, there's just this big delay right now. The latest word that we have been getting from the club itself is that the vast majority of the board really want Ten Hag. They have been impressed with this interview. He brought the vision and tactical acumen, and they really, really impressed him from his latest interview. But they create this storm, this media storm, to say that we're going to do a second round of interviews, but it's really to cover up for the fact that in reality, the 100% of the board is really not convinced that Ten Hag is the right appointment to make. And I made a post earlier to say that Sir Alex is the biggest reason as to why this is further being delayed, because he has made it known about his preference for Pochettino due to his Premier League experience and how much he has been regarded so often as a chosen one for United, even after Ferguson messed up with David Moyes. So,
Quick
um,
question, Jason. Quick question in regards to that. So I was reading a few article where they said that the coach that will come in, they want him to be quite advanced with English. They said this is a big plus. But when you look at Posh, and Posh is somebody, as I mentioned, that they're big on him. This one has been in Premier League for however long, from Southampton days to Tottenham and all that, and up to now, this man can't speak English properly. So why is it that should become a barrier for a man like Tenal? Because we have heard Tenal. First, you know that he was being interviewed for the Tottenham job and he never got it because they said that his English wasn't perfect. But
mhm.
how do you put how much of a emphasis do you place on that language barrier?
I mean, for me, it's minimal, and it's even more minimal if you look at the level of English that Ten Hag can actually speak. It's not that it's like a Bielsa situation where him definitely need a translator, or a Antonio Conte where him speak a lot of broken English. It's nothing like that. I mean, Ten Hag's, I mean, is not the best, but I mean, it's average level of. So I don't understand where that would come in as it relates to language barrier and all of that. I believe that there are enough persons in the squad, in addition to Ten Hag, who can help to get the message across. I mean, Ralph's English may not be perfect either. Maybe it's better than Ten Hag's own, but I just think it's stupid. Maybe they want to move on from the broken sort of English that plagued Van Gaal and maybe Mourinho, but I mean, I don't get it, and I just think it's nonsense for me.
But you can finish up in regards to the linkage and all of that. In regards to the coaches
So
that are linked in that.
I mean, the latest media brief and probably the latest understanding from any United fan that can probably put two and two together. I mean, if you can look at the latest interview that Ten Hag did, because I'm not sure if anybody can remember when he was linked to the Barcelona job, like he completely dismissed and just said that
Yeah.
it's rumors and we don't follow rumors. But you look at the terminology and the language and the explanation that he used this morning in his interview to say that United is a club with great fans, and it's everybody's ambition to move on to the bigger leagues, and hope Ajax will stand in his way if that eventually. I mean, it just goes to show that he's really not ruling out himself, and there's definitely more to what is being reported. And I just think that they're just delaying the inevitable right now. In my estimation, it would be really, really, really surprising if Ten Hag is not confirmed as the United manager for next season.
Fox. But now we look at the title race. I know that you're a man that if you could have a choice, you won't really pick anybody based on the team that you support. But we have to just face reality, and it's either the blue team from Manchester, or the red team from down in Merseyside. So when I look at it, which one of them do you think stand the best possible chance of getting it? As I was mentioning earlier before it came on, I know that Ruben Diaz will be out of the clash next week, and there's no particular time frame as to when he'll be back. So when you put in all those things into proper questioning and proper equation, who do you think stand a better chance of winning the title?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because everybody kind of wrote off the league to say that City went away with it in the last part of last year. Liverpool have done really well to bring themselves back into the equation, and I really feel like my worst nightmare is going to be realized because in reality, I mean, if I had to pick which one of them I would not rather to win, then it would be Liverpool because of the real rivalry that the two of us have, the amount of titles and championships and all of that. So I would really not want them to win, but I just have a feeling that they are going to trump Man City and beat them to the title. I just think that um, Pep Pep team can turn it on when they're ready and score a lot of goals, but I just believe that Liverpool have greater firepower. Uh, they have greater gray hair in my beard if you can't really see, so you must know. If Liverpool for me with Salah, Mane, the added firepower of Luis Diaz, I they have gone about their business quietly, and I just think that they will pick City to the title. I just think City's obsession with winning the Champions League might get the better of them, but we'll see. It's going to come down to probably the penultimate weekend or even the last kick of the season to decide. But I just have a feeling that Liverpool is more to take it.
Facts that I don't. I mean, as I said, I'm not really happy about it. But what can I do? My team is in turmoil, so I just have to accept reality and just watch how things play out in front of me. Because again, we can't be salty about the situation. Because at the end of the day, our team is the reason why they're in the position that they are, and why these two teams are dominating the league as they are. So nobody
Factors.
to blame but ourselves.
Exactly. We just have to go and watch what go on, and just have with two rival them just continuously give us some Will Smith. So you just
Michelle, you're absolutely correct, Michelle. Michelle saying that most Jamaicans club team is Man United and country team is Brazil. That is true.
I agree with you, Michelle. That's why they tend to say most Jamaicans are wagonists. Okay, everybody, those two teams for our generation were the most successful growing up. So I would agree with that as well. I'm no
Now, since you're
wagonist here, but
here
me
and,
just I say generally speaking.
since you're here and you missed out on it earlier, I can give you a minute or two to talk about your draw, man, because you got a pretty decent group, and I know that you predicted what two out of the three opponents that you got.
I predicted it exactly because it's the patterns, but I just had a feeling. I said it 2 days ago that I just felt that Brazil was going to draw Switzerland, Serbia, because those were the two Europeans from our last World Cup, as well as Cameroon, who was in our 2014 group. Um, I mean, it's a straightforward group for us. Serbia is going to have the added threat of Mr. Vlahovic from Juventus, so that is something for us to worry about additionally this time around. But overall, I think I'm not going to say Brazil should have it easy, but Brazil should top the group with at least seven out of the nine maximum points. So I don't see any problems for Brazil coming through that group. Should be pretty
Okay.
straightforward. So I actually love it. Generally
Yes, I want
speaking,
some
I mean,
favorites, yeah?
as the favorites, I soon put up my flag them and get my armband and everything in the background in due time. But I mean, in reality, generally speaking, you look at the whole draw overall, and I was kind of surprised there's no real group of death. You might have some groups that have an overall favorite, and then you might have some groups that have some wayward anchor, some interesting placings for who would finish second. I think it's a group that has Morocco and Canada. I don't remember who else is in that group. Is
I
pretty
think I think I
interesting to
think
see.
as Kim explained earlier, he thinks that Group A and Group H might be tricky in some sense. The group with Qatar, Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador, because there's no outright clear-cut favorite in that group. Because you know Netherlands, they're up and down when it comes down to World Cup. And also Group H where you have Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana, because any number can possibly play in that group.
I mean, for me, I can probably see where he would probably come to that conclusion. But for me, those two groups, if they come to farm, will be pretty straightforward. Netherlands quality will tell in Group A, and I think Senegal will join them. I have seen Ecuador all South American qualification, and up. They have been up and down. I think South America. I think they have benefited pretty much from just the general drop in quality as regards to South American qualification generally. But with the other group, I expect Portugal and Uruguay to top. South Korea is just, well, I'm not going to say it's just Son Heung-min, but he would have to put in a supernatural performance for South Korea to go through. In addition to whoever else was in that group, can't remember. But yeah, for me, those would be the two from each group. But the most
Yeah.
interesting group, as I pointed it out, is a group with Morocco and Canada. Not sure who else. I think that's Belgium's group. I'm not sure who else is in that zone. But that
Yeah,
is
man,
the
you're
most
correct, man.
interesting for me.
Belgium, Croatia, Canada, and Morocco.
Yeah, that's the most interesting for me. For me, any car can play as to who finished second. I suspect Belgium will top the group, but interesting to see who will finish second.
Okay. Now we're just going to move away from World Cup football and get right into it. How much time you have remaining?
It can go on until I mean free up right now, so can go
All
on
right,
into
same
it.
with me. All right. So now that this part of the show is one of your favorite part, and Pepe Paul, especially this is your favorite part where we get into the weekend fixtures and prediction. So first up, early tomorrow morning, because I know that time has changed again. So the match will be played at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, Jamaica time. Liverpool against Watford. Easy pickings, but in terms of what do you think about this game, man? If Watford can try to take something home from this game, what sort of mindset can they go into this game with?
Well, Roy Hodgson as a manager has always prided himself on keeping things tight, trying to restrict the opposition. But the quality, let's be honest, Watford is just not going to have enough quality to stop Liverpool from doing that. So I really see this as straightforward. What is interesting is that for any better out there is that um, I think there have been in the last 22 matches, I believe, that have been played at this early kickoff. 17 of them have gone below 2.5.
Whoa!
Um, wow. Well, I mean, Liverpool fans might remember. They might have some little vengeance because that season when they ran away with the league, they would remember that it was Watford who broke them ducks when Ismail Sarr um, made it score 2 goals, and then what you call it, Troy Deeney scored the other. So in reality, I mean, I only see this going one way with Liverpool winning. So I would say Liverpool to win 2-0. So Liverpool and under 3.5 in my estimation.
I disagree.
What you say, so?
And yes, all right. So I'm going to give it after I read from the comments. So yes, friend is saying that expecting 3 goals from Salah, he's angry and hungry because of his team not going to World Cup and also missing a pin. Tomorrow, based on what is going on right now, Jason, because remember they have to factor in these things,
Mm-hmm.
The title challenge might very well come down to, like, when I look at it, the title race may very well come down to goal difference. And when you factor in that, you have to really take it into consideration that Liverpool right now can't ease up any at all whatsoever. So if you look at it from that angle, they are going out there with blood in their eyes. So if I'm really, if I'm going to be honest about it, I see Liverpool scoring at least three, probably four, even probably more than that. in this game. So I really have to look at it deeper than just on the surface that over the years it hasn't really given that much of goals. But um, as Fernand just pointed out, Salah really want to show because of what happened in the World Cup qualification. So if you really take that into consideration, they're going out there to really whop up this team. So I see Liverpool winning this game probably 4-0 or 5-0 thereabouts. I see those sort of scoreline. And here's also so let's take a quickly. All right, so Jason, as I was explaining before you came off, I
Yeah,
was saying that the title race may very well come down to goal difference. So in a factor in that enough playing against Watford, who is arguably one of the worst teams in the league. Liverpool are thinking about dumping up them right now. It's just all about dump up. So I'm thinking either 4 goals or 5 goals in this game.
that can definitely. I mean, that's a logical thing to look at. It's definitely an explanation, but when I look at the pattern of Liverpool, I think in the last 7 games overall in all competitions, they've only scored 8 goals. So them themselves kind of drop off. It's like they move from heavy metal and blowing away teams to just job done tactic. Let's get the job done and just move forward. So I think it can go either way. I would say it would be a 2-0, but I mean Liverpool will be eager, especially considering that they have that chance to go top of the table and lay down the gauntlet to City, who will play later on in the day. So it's definitely something, a game for them to prove a point.
All right, I'm just going to get through a few of the comments after, but Christopher, big up the man. Christopher, big up Jason back on the line.
Big up,
Welcome once
Christoph. Big
again.
up.
So, here's Fernando saying that that was done by Vincarage Road. Tomorrow it will be at Anfield, so different story. Owen is
Yeah,
saying that
yeah.
Firmino and Jota, and he's also giving Liverpool a 4-1 victory. And Michelle saying that Watford will feel the wrath. Owen saying that Watford can't surprise them, man. Come on, Owen. Stop me at point sport. I know that you're a United fan, but come on, man.
Yeah, man, we can't say when the Liverpool fan them I feel it, When remember, when remember, when not going to forget that for Watford, But yeah, man, Liverpool will beat them. But I feel like when you can feel sorry for the old manager right out, some man. Just too love.
No,
I
man.
just leave it.
No,
This.
man. Keep the ball going. Christoph giving them his team a 3-0 victory. Man, I expect those sort of scoreline, man. 3-4-5 thereabouts. But since as you touched on it, I'm just going to jump right over to that next game. And it's Burnley against Man City. Both these two teams, in terms of Liverpool and Man City, they can't afford to slip up any at all. I know after Liverpool game finish, you know that Man City will be second, and they haven't been in that position for a good while now. So, in a factor in that, and over the years, I've realized that whenever Man City see Burnley, Man City tend to smile because it normally guarantees over 5 goals. But last time out, it never happened. But this time around, Jason, you think that City and Mahrez are going to be disappointed that hey, when I didn't qualify for a World Cup and all of that? So probably in the mind frame that this is a dump up mission. Let's just give Burnley what we should have done earlier of the season.
I mean, even if that might be a natural reaction, but even if they want to do that, Pep is not going to allow that because Pep business about Man City and business about Man City affairs, and him still have a job to get done with Liverpool breathing on their necks, especially knowing City can start the game in second place.
They are
So,
going to.
so well, based on everybody's prediction, they will. They will, but football is a funny old sport. But anyways, I guess that will confirm tomorrow. But overall, and I mean, it's funny that you touched that with regards to City's supposed demolition of Burnley when they meet them. Because if you look at it, I think it's the last. If you look at the last 9 games between City and Burnley, City lead an aggregate score by 32-1.
Crazy.
32-1
That's
in
crazy,
nine
fam.
games. That is averaging more than 3 goals
Over
a
three
game.
goals
So
per game.
if
Crazy.
if you're going to follow that same trajectory, then remember me tell you, Burnley is going to feel it tomorrow. So, but I predict a more modest score line, and I will just leave it at three. I'll say 3-0.
I'm thinking along that same line. I don't know why, but it seems like this time around we're on the same page. So I'm going with a Man City 3-0. Can be
Yeah,
4, can be 5 based on how they feel tomorrow.
yeah.
But here's Michelle saying that Burnley dodged and can get something. Come on, Michelle.
No, Michelle. No,
Mich-
Michelle.
You see, Michelle right now, Michelle is an 8 of Man City now. Michelle really wants Liverpool to win the title. So she's
Of
on the
course.
Liverpool train totally.
Of course.
So here's trying to say that City versus Burnley will not be if, but how
But how
much.
much?
And Christoph is saying that Man City 3-0 easily. So
I,
I
I
guess
I
Liverpool
don't
can just
mind
do both.
as long as Liverpool and City do their job tomorrow, because those two teams, as much as on rivals, we're not playing two teams that I actually like badly just want to get relegated. So we're not doing no work, please.
Brother, why won't Shandash get relegated? If
Shan,
Shandash get
Shan,
relegated, bro, he's going to take off Man United.
United fans want a ballad coach, so why not?
Why not the gingerbread? But here's always say that some of City's best defenders are out, but they should beat Burnley. But find it a little more difficult against Atletico and Liverpool. You'll get there, Owen. So
Eventually, we'll get there.
next up on the agenda, we have Brighton against Norwich, and Brighton and Norwich they have just been on L. They haven't found a win in ages, especially Brighton, and I don't know what's going on down there. And come on, Potter, you're under the microscope now. Now's the time for you to get a win because you need a win right now. But when you look at Norwich, Jason, they're also desperate because they're trying to stave off relegation. Probably seems unlikely and unfathomable, but they think that it's possible. So, but they have 9 games remaining, 9 3 27, and 27 and 17. That will be 44. So, Norwich still have a chance that they can end on 44 points. So, do you think that tomorrow they can get a better of Brighton, or do you think that Brighton will be too much for them?
Well, I mean, Graham Potter played good football with Brighton. It's just that the results just haven't followed, and this is a pattern from largely affected them from last season. So, I
Yeah.
mean, in reality, I mean, what will affect both teams, especially recently, is the fact that both teams just haven't scored enough goals. I think away from home for Norwich especially, they have they have played what 14 games away from home, I believe, and they've only scored 8 goals. So, but Brighton's average in terms of goals scored per game has dropped off significantly. If you looked at from when Potter came in to now. So overall, looking at it, I have it as a draw game. These relegation battles are always about who really puts up a fight, who really showing the desire to stay up. But I think if there's going to be a winner, it will be Brighton. But I think this game will draw. So I am going to go with a 0-0. I don't see any goal scoring tomorrow.
Wow. Yes, Fran was saying that he expects Brighton to win 2-1. Owen saying that Brighton will win. Christoph saying that Norwich going down, either a draw or a 1-0 win for Brighton. Michelle saying that it's a draw. And as always, Michelle has to spot her favorite person as he just popped in. Well, he popped off just now, but share the back.
Games,
Yellow back to Michelle. Your favorite personality will go back soon.
give him little time, man. Give him little time.
But next up, when I look at the fixture listing, I see I'm going to leave that game for now until he return. So next up, we're going to look at Chelsea against Brentford, and we spoke at length many times in our little WhatsApp group and also on this forum about Chelsea and what has transpired with them. It seems like whatever has happened has galvanized the team. They have been on a winning run and they just keep on win. Brentford now, they're buoyed by the fact that Christian Eriksen is in form, went on international duty and is scored in back-to-back games. So, man, this one is slated to be an interesting game, but based on how it's a Chelsea playing, before I get there, Jason, Yes, Christoph saying that the voice run as him see Michelle comment.
The fans are
But
requesting Kim's forward back, man.
he'll be back, man. I know Kim's by that one. But Jason, that game, Chelsea Brentford. What's this one going on? Michelle, I'm sure that you're going to come here and tell us that Chelsea is going to win easily. But go on, Jason.
Well, I mean, you call it perfectly, you call it perfectly that Brentford has gotten a little return to form ever since Christian Eriksen started to play more. Ivan Toney has been rediscovering his scoring touch, even though majority, if not all, has been penalties. From what many fans have called him the best penalty taker in the world, with his unique, to say the least, penalty style. I don't know how he matches up that, but it works for him. But anyways, but what has happened for Brentford is that they're playing Chelsea at the wrong time because Chelsea has also looked like they've picked themselves up after a little indifferent. It seems like this whole sanction thing has really galvanized the team, and based on how Tuchel has been responded and how the team overall have been responding to what they would term as adversity. So, I mean, if you look at what used to be the bedrock of Chelsea, because Chelsea was conceding goals for fun, but you realize that in the last 5 games, they've only conceded 1 goal. And even overall, for the entire season, they still have only conceded 11 open play goals all season. So Chelsea has gone back to farming, to their defense, farming the bedrock. And I just want Chelsea to keep their star defender fit because I need him to captain my team later on this year in the World Cup. So I just keep on allowing him to do the do and all of that, stay fit. But I see a Chelsea win tomorrow. Brentford can score, but I would say 3-1 in favor of Chelsea. Also, on a side note, I see see the comment here still. Havertz has been very good for them as of late, so I expect him to be among the goals again tomorrow.
But separate and apart, if there can be a shock, do you think that Brentford has what it takes to actually beat Chelsea?
Um, I mean, in a literal sense, anybody can beat anybody, but I don't see Brentford beating Chelsea tomorrow. At the very most, Brentford can get a draw, but even that is unlikely, in my opinion. Probably somebody else might see it differently, but I see Chelsea winning the game. I wouldn't say comfortably, but I see them winning the game because, as I said, they're just playing Chelsea at the wrong time, Brentford right now.
Okay. And as you mentioned, here's Fana who said that Chelsea for the victory. Havertz has been the goal getter, and I'm expecting him to continue. Christoph now is saying that he expects a 2-all draw. And Michelle is saying that, and I need Havertz to continue with this one. Definitely, especially for us as Germans, Michelle, we need to see him keep on continuing getting from strength to strength. And Christoph is here saying that even Tony at the double. Yeah, man, Tony has been in sublime form, and he's just hoping that he keeps on his farm keeps going because right now Brentford, yeah, people might look at it and say they're probably safe, but they just need a few more points in that tank to actually get over that. Home fans say yes, they'll be good. But otherwise from that, I think that Chelsea will have too much, like literally way too much for Brentford, especially with all they're playing. So I'm going with a Chelsea win as well. But Vice hasn't been back as yet, so I'll just jump right into it. And the next game that I'm going to look at will be Leeds against Southampton. I think this game is an interesting one for many reasons. One, Jesse Marsh got his first win last time out. Team seems like they're actually playing a bit different. Bamford came back, but once again he's out, down injured, and I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. Calvin Phillips is back. Will he start tomorrow? That's $1 million question. But if there's one thing that we know about Southampton over the years, whenever they realize that they have gotten into a position that they can't be relegated, like they're in the safety zone, it's like they just totally stop playing football. This is something that I've seen with them last season, and once again this season, they have come back with the same thing. Yeah, Jason is back. So yeah, Southampton is just a team that you see once they realize that yeah they're safe, they just totally shut down. So Jason, Leeds against Southampton. I personally going with Leeds. I think Leeds is going to get better of them. But what say you?
I agree that I think Leeds will get the result. They didn't start off. They didn't get the best set of results when Jesse March came in, but now he has kind of picked them up. They got a morale boosting victory last time out. So overall, as we say, I mean, it's a common thing with Southampton. As long as them declare them Premier League status, it's like them just shut down. It's like Hassan who to just say, just go and keep the legs fresh for next season and and all of that. So I mean, being that they're still going to have this sort of new manager bunks and the type of football that Jesse Marsh will get Leeds to play, I see Leeds getting the better of them. So I would say 2-1 in favor of Leeds.
Fair.
They're still trying to fight to get away from the relegation zone as far as possible. So I would put the win in their favor.
All right, and here's Christoph saying that Southampton players on vacation already. Owen saying that they expect a 1-all draw. Michelle going with a Leeds win. And Frana was saying that Leeds need to take their time with the long absentee players. Yeah, that is facts. You can't rush them back too soon because they'll end up right back on the treatment table. I've seen Ole done it with some of United players, and yeah, I've seen it all. But Wolves against Aston Villa will be the next game, Jason. Wolves at home against Villa. How is that one going?
Um, why I really wanted Kims to be here for this. Right now, to be honest, I don't think I can separate them. Um,
Yeah.
reason being each each team's farm has been indifferent for the most part. Wolves were very sturdy in their defense. Gerrard has made Villa a very stable outfit. So they're two teams in decent form going against each other. So I don't think I can separate them. What people can watch is that this normally tends to be a feisty affair because I think in the last two games prior to this, there were 21 yellow cards between these two teams and two red cards. And the
Oh,
type of football what Gerard gets Villa to play, very aggressive. I see that along the same line because I think the referee that they have, I can't remember his name, the ref, but I think in multiple games he's given at least 5 yellow cards this season. So expect a feisty affair, but really and truly where the result is concerned, I can't separate them. So I would say 1-1, a 1-all
I
draw.
agree. Michelle saying that Wolves will win, and she's just saying that just to piss off Games. Rather saying that Villa for the win. I'm going with a 1-all draw as well for this one. Next up is your team against Leicester. Leicester without Wilfred Ndidi and also without Jamie Vardy. And that your team, I think, CR few is out of the game also with Cavani. Well, that's what they have stated. Tomorrow we'll know for sure. But I'm going to this game. Do you think your team can get the W over Leicester?
Boy, I would certainly hope so. I haven't seen United play in a long while, so my mind gets a little ease from subpar performances. But we have to be back to the reality. It doesn't help that we're going to be without a natural striker tomorrow because yes, as you confirmed, Ronaldo they say is a confirmed not to the squad. Cavani came off injured for Uruguay, so he's going to be out
Him
for a
still play for
specified
United?
period of time. So really and truly, the only out and out forward that is in the team right now is somebody who is woefully out of form in Marcus Rashford. So I suspect that Bruno would probably play false nine. He will be buoyed by his 2 goals showing for Portugal to get them to the World Cup. So hopefully the tactic is to get Bruno in that false nine position and just release Sancho and Rashford on the wings. Rashford still have a good record against Leicester personally scoring, so hopefully him can rediscover him scoring boots. But something that has gone under the radar is that I didn't even realize that Leicester have won the last 3 games against United head to head.
Yep.
So that is something that United will have to be mindful of. But right now it is a fight to finish in the top 4, and United cannot afford to drop too many more points, especially considering that we still have Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal to play at some point for the rest of the season. So this needs to be this needs to be a victory, especially without Vardy and NDD. We have a good amount of fresh players, so we should be able to get the job done. So I would say 2-1 in United's favor.
Okay. I hope that they'll actually get the W, but I don't trust them in at all. No trust whatsoever in United. And yes, full of Christoph saying that one thing you can expect Rashford to score. Okay.
Against Leicester. Yeah,
Let's see.
exactly.
Let's just get through
Hopefully.
the other let's get through the other few games quickly before you go. So we have West Ham against Everton. Everton desperate. West Ham still feeling like they can make top four. So your prediction for this one?
Um, Boy, we spoke about Everton earlier, about their current malaise. Um, Antonio, I think Antonio has gone 10 games now without scoring for West
Yep.
Ham as a piece of a bargain. And I mean, it will be interesting to see the kind of team that Moyes puts out, considering that he has Leon in the Europa League Thursday. So he might want to have that of a bit of priority, because I think they were amongst the contenders to finish in the top four, but I believe them out of the race now. So really and truly, they might just depend on the Europa League, give them a chance to win a trophy as well as guaranteed Champions League qualification. But I mean, even though Antonio is 10 games without a goal, one thing that I can guarantee with him is that when he gets rest, he tends to come back in goal scoring form. Um, uh, I think the last time Jamaica did not call him up was, I think, in September, and that coincided with a 4-game winning run for West Ham, which included victories over Tottenham and Liverpool. So West Ham and Moyes will be hoping that he can carry over that same form against Everton, and they will not want to show any sympathy. Everton will they need this result more, to get away from the relegation fight. But um, I mean, West Ham have their own point to prove. So overall, I think this may be a victory in West Ham's favor. So I say another 2-1 scoreline in favor of the Hammers.
Okay. As Michelle saying that Everton need to squeeze out a draw at the least. Um, Next up, Tottenham against Newcastle. Tottenham within shot of making it to the top four. Newcastle still trying to climb up the table more and more. Why is this one going?
Well, I think Eddie Howe can be proud of the work that he's done since he's coming to Newcastle. He has revitalized them completely. They look a completely different outfit to what they were before he came in. So I think, I wouldn't say it's necessarily job done yet, but Newcastle have the quality to get them over the line, in my estimation. But Tottenham is a team that is going to want to continue their trend of trying to. I mean, they have gotten some inconsistent results over the course of the season. Win loss, win loss, win loss. So that is a trend that
Just that,
Conte and
just that,
Tottenham.
just that they changed it last time out because they have one back to back. So
Yeah,
they just
they'll be looking to make it 3 games in a row. So I mean, James one hear me when I say Conte is a good coach, and he has revitalized Tottenham since he's coming as well. And I think their quality will tell, especially considering that it seems like Harry Kane finally find film scoring boots. So expect him to be a danger for Newcastle tomorrow. So um, I see Spurs winning, maybe 2-1, 3-1.
all right. And as far as saying that the Spurs and Newcastle will be a good game, revenge for Newcastle. Yeah, I'm going with a Newcastle draw. And yes, Mr. saying that Tottenham still under the impression they can make tough for say they will go for it. So win for them. Newcastle draw, Mr. Straight.
I agree with you, Michelle, because if Tottenham beat Newcastle by at least 2 goals, they
They
will
can win.
go ahead of Arsenal in the table, who play on Monday. So they are definitely in with a shout. So I agree with you.
All right. The voice, the people that say I run it from the show. Michelle said from the moment she mentioned your name, you just run off.
I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about.
Alright.
From who? From who? Who mentioned my name?
Michelle. She said that she mentioned your name and from she mentioned it, you just run off the show. But
Nah,
Jason, let's
that's
just finish the last game quickly before I get to Kim. So Palace against Arsenal. Let's see that one going.
Palace have a history of this season starting games slowly. Arsenal start games quickly. So you can do the maths to see how this is going to go in the first half. Um, might be an emotional moment for Patrick Vieira back back against his former team. But in football, you try not to have much room for sentiments, and Arsenal have their own agenda in trying to secure a top four placement. So I see a win in Arsenal's favor. So 1-0, 2-0 in favor of the Gunners.
Alright. So Kim, I'm just going to run back through the fixtures. So Liverpool, Watford, what do you have for that one? Scoreline and remember the Pepe Paul, I look forward to your predictions in it.
no. People can't look forward to me this week, boss.
Soup.
International break just done. When international break done, you give it a week break. You know, be jumpy. But
Facts.
Liverpool put 2-0.
Alright. Guess you and Jason on the same train. Jason predicted the same thing. Brighton Norwich.
2-1. I think they come on here drift and talk some crap about Nila, some crap like that. This game ain't this game ain't
So,
going nil all, boss.
so I
2-1.
say Norwich will
Two.
get it better.
No, Brighton not going.
Alright.
Potter got a nice international break for gather himself because a bit of foolishness him did that to prayer. So Brighton will win this game, man. Brighton will win this game.
Then we have Burnley against City.
4-0 Man City.
Alright.
Look, Kems, I was telling Levan, I don't know if you hear, but me did I tell Levan, say the last 9 games between these two teams, Man City and Burnley, have a 32-1 aggregate scoreline in City favor. So you do the maths, brother.
Yeah, like, on a playtime right now,
Facts.
especially for City.
Chelsea Brentford.
Chelsea to win 2-0.
Leeds Southampton.
Oh,
Leeds Southampton.
Southampton win 2-1.
Wow. Okay. Wolves
Leeds not
against
good, brother.
Wolves against your team.
What you expect? That's the easiest W. 2-0.
Let's say,
2-0
but
Aston
all right.
Villa.
Let us put some context to that game because since it's your team, we're going to stop right there. So I know they always say Wolves are a team that don't really concede a lot at home. So you really think Villa's good to score two on them down there?
Not lately, not lately. Wolves before the international break, they've been leaking, bad defending, poor goalkeeping, poor setup, poor everything. And
Okay.
Aston Villa they lost to Arsenal, and then
Yeah.
I think another team must have draw or something like that before that. I probably lose, I don't remember, but. Now let's get back to winning ways. Matty Cash played some good football during the break. Tyron Mings, of course, big top six defender. Played some good football as well. So hey, Ali Watkins as well scored, and so confidence is high between these guys. So and one pass, I try catch Wolves. So
Okay.
2-0 Aston Villa.
United Leicester.
United 2-1.
All right. West Ham Everton.
West Ham, Everton, West Ham 2-0.
Tottenham, Newcastle,
1-1.
and Palace versus Arsenal.
1-1. 1-1 game.
Okay.
Now, underestimate Palace. Palace a big
True.
side. And Michelle, that was an objective analysis. It was both objective and subjective. Man, I pick my team for those, brother. Against stinking Wolves.
All right.
That's
So
the only game that may I buy. The only game that may I buy. Aston Villa
Palace,
Wolves.
Palace, Arsenal.
No, Aston Villa Wolves.
Oh.
Yeah, the only game that may I buy.
I give the same expertise to Pepe Paul as you mentioned. So every time after intentional break, just give football betting a break until the following week because when they just come off intentional break, the teams don't seem to do well. Just like Champions League as well. You see, normally with the big teams, when they just play a Champions League game, just leave the big teams alone because they're going to come and mess up. So just factor in those things, Pepe, when you're doing your betting tomorrow. But next up, Fabi Frano and Christoph, I know that you guys pay keen attention to the Jamaica Premier League because we'll soon wrap up the show because we have had a lot of times with you guys today. We were here with you guys for 2 hours earlier this morning, so we're not going to stay here for any much longer. But I see that Mount Pleasant is making a lot of moves. Some people are saying that it's foolish. Some of them are foolish because they're making moves without proper coaching, and they have signed a lot of players over the past couple of seasons that are falling under the radar somewhat. When you look at ranking that was at Cavaliers and was at Sandals at first, signed him, and he hasn't been doing much since then in terms of playing time and all of that. But they confirmed 4 players today, and the first one that I'm going to mention is one that Kems is familiar with. So they signed Chevon Scarrow Stewart from Waterhouse. He's now 24 years old, and I signed him in that team. What do you think about him, Kims? And the thing that really bothers me a lot, he along with Alex Marshall. When you saw them in high school, you thought that hey, these were 2 guys that could have gone on to pastors new, but what has gone so amiss, especially with Scarrow?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I wasn't
Oh,
following him. But I don't think he probably wasn't managed properly. I can summarize that he wasn't managed properly because I believe if he was managed properly, the talent that guy have, he was supposed to play in the Jamaican Premier League, and I am wanna crap on the Jamaican Premier League, but when I think he can grow right here, so in the Jamaican Premier League based on when you match up the talent level and
mhm.
the level of the Jamaican Premier League, it's not a match there. It's not a fit there. Alex Marshall, I've never been a big Alex Marshall fan. I don't think the guy is good. I think he's an okay footballer. Nothing to write home about. Doesn't impress me. Very soft, very fragile, easy to push off the ball, not firm on the ball, very cocky, whole lot of stuff. Never impressed me at all. But Scarra though, he's one of the best footballers I ever seen playing schoolboy football, and I've seen a lot of great schoolboy football, but he's one of them, definitely one of them.
Yeah, and another one that I was disappointed with for a good while now was Ashani Walker. I thought that dude was good for JC as well, but for whatever reason, he never really went on to bigger things in football. But it's just one of those things. And here's
It
Pepe
was,
Paul.
it
Right?
was Scarra made a decision to get a degree, then come back to football. But wasn't he overseas playing football as well? I thought he was
Pepe can confirm that.
I thought he was overseas, or wherever he was. I thought he was doing that. But if you want to get a degree, listen. If you want to say, all right, I'm get a degree just in case football no work out, that is your own prerogative. The guy named Ashani Walker, he went to University of Cincinnati. He was at
Yeah,
University of Cincinnati. He was with my boy Shamar Shelton up there. So um, what sometimes them things they just don't work out, yeah, boss.
true. So the other moves that they made because as I said Fabrifano and Christoph is well in tune to the league. So one Pleasant also signed Jamai Topi from Cavaliers. Another one that went overseas never worked out for him at Bethlehem. I think the team name that he was at some Bethlehem something or another. I don't remember the last name of the team, but was over there and I think he's in USL. Never really went according to plan for him. So he came back to Cavaliers, won the Jamaica Premier League last season. Now he'll be moving on to Mount Pleasant, and I heard that they paid a good sum for him. That's the news going around that they paid a decent figure for him. So, ah, I remember you asked about this guy earlier on, Kings, because you heard about him for a good while now. So, you have anything to say about that?
Listen, why am I not hear about Junior Flemings and Damian Lowe and then people that come back at Jamaica compared to Jamaican Premier League? If you come back and you play the Jamaican Premier League, that is already telling me say you're not good. You know, if you were in whatever league up there, so, and then you come back and Jamaica Premier League, that if that's your ceiling, you're not good, brother. You're not good. It's either two things: bad management or you're not good. You're on a rave about the Topi guy a lot. I think it was you and I think it was Steven. Steven come on here and rave about Topi. Put Topi, give Topi a chance. Nah, that man don't good, brother. Listen, Paul Hall, know him, do. Paul Hall won't put that guy in the squad, brother. So, hey.
But Paul Al picked him the other day, and Paul Al
No,
started him.
no, no. Yeah, that was his chance. That was his chance. But no more. No good. Were you impressed by the performance you saw?
I wasn't, but I can bet you that he will get a chance again.
All right, I bet you he won't. Probably for some little friendly or so, and English players if they want forward, but with a full squad,
He's
not
still
good,
pretty
brother.
young, bro. He's 22 years old.
He's 22.
But yeah, he's 22. But when I look at it, here's Christoph saying that hoping are better
See
than
that?
who is gonna play that now.
See that? See that? See that? Me not even know the man, and me just know this. Like them things are simple logics, brother. Me not care how much money. Yeah, all right. Speedy they are USL right now for Miami. And I think Mount Pleasant could not pay $1 trillion. Speedy now come back to Jamaica come play the football, brother. Like they're just
And
not.
he has Prada saying that the man is a Cavaliers player, so he will get more chance. Prada just said it, man. He's no longer at Cavaliers. He has now moved on to Mount Pleasant. So do the maths. But Kim, what you're saying is fact still, It's something that I don't really like to see players do. There's no way you can be in USL or whatever league it is overseas and you come back right here in Jamaica Premier League. That's like a downgrade in a boss.
Brother,
Literally.
brother, it's like you get a job and you start work for ESPN and then they're not sure about you and them send you back come read TVJ Sports. Like, hey, go to TVJ Sports and people want and them are going convince me say,
You
hey,
win.
he's a good journalist. Good journalist. No, brother.
Huh?
Like you get demoted.
Bro,
No,
you're
no
fighting
good for me.
some shots, man.
Oh that.
You're,
Me?
you're fighting some shots, man.
Oh no man, listen. Man, may I be honest, brother? Like if you get demoted, then that is already telling me a sign. Ryan tell me say, oh, he was hurt. A lot of players get hurt. Speedy was hurt
True.
one time. Damian Lowe was hurt one time. Junior Fleming was hurt. Junior Fleming used a derogatory term, and him still never go back at the Jamaican Premier League. Him still all the way at France in there right now. And Junior Fleming don't know
But
nobody to write home
you know that he
about.
hasn't played since he has been over there though.
Oh, he hasn't played.
I was checking out the other day and I haven't seen him on not even the bench the man no make.
Geary.
Them have a League Two team or something like that.
No, I don't think they have a League Two team. Because remember that is a team that is in the second division right now,
Yeah.
And
So,
I've been
so,
So them
so,
not have
watching the
like
league.
so Toulouse not in a title race right now in a second division.
Yeah, man, they're in the promotional place right now. I think they're leading the
Yeah,
table, but he's not even on the bench, fam. Not even the bench a man can make.
not even game him again. Wow.
Bro, I said the man
I,
can't
I
make the bench.
I haven't been following it at all. I know Nicholson got player of the month for Spartak. Spartak in Moscow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And oh yeah, yes, Elton saying it. This is what I should have brought up as well. I will name the two other Mount Pleasant players soon, but Joshua Anglin, the guy that got caught up over some foolishness in USA, is back at Arborview. I saw the news the other day and I was actually surprised because I know that at some point the news kind of gets swept on the floor. We never heard much follow up about it, but he's back at Arborview and yeah, that's confirmed. Pepe was saying that Topi is too slow, and yes, Pepe also saying that Truma followed the team is only registering at the squad. Yeah, always saying that true. I follow the team, him only register in the squad. Yeah, man, facts that. But I agree with Christopher as well that King is better than Topi. I think Richard King is a better player than Topi, and we just hope that he doesn't fall in the same trap as Topi did because when Topi was coming through, he was basically like Richard King, but no, totally different player. So for the other two players that Mount Pleasant have signed, they are Andre Fletcher from Waterhouse, I believe he's what 23, I think. And they also signed Trevante Stewart from Mullins United, and he's 22. So good going from Mount Pleasant in terms of signings. I just hope that they play these players and they don't stifle the youngsters as well because they're trying to bring through quite a few youngsters in Devante Campbell and all these guys. So let us really see how this goes. And here's Chris saying that Fleming's not good. I check in on his team from time to time, and the man can't make the team. I said it, man. The man not even make the bench. So yeah, it's that bad. But Jason, any other topic that you really want to chime in on quickly before we call it a night on the show?
Well, of course, today would have been all right, Devo. um, Today would have been nominated by the World Cup draw.
Yeah,
It's always a certain euphoria for us football fans whenever this time comes about. Whenever we see, the draw coming for the World Cup, that's how say, yeah, man, things really getting on to business. They can start officially counting down. What what will be interesting to see is the parameters that come with having a World Cup at that point of the year rather than in a typical summer when we're so used to having it. To know that all the leagues are going to take a break from the season and then going to World Cup mode. So that will be interesting and intriguing. Hoping that my nation, of course, they can see it in the as part of my name. 20 years ago, they lifted the World Cup. It's time for that. It's time for the European dominance to end now. So hopefully they can get
brother,
it done.
yeah, listen, them telling me about a 4 year old, my brother. I know.
You see, my thing is, I'm glad that Italy is not there because Italy and Germany are the ones who are on four. I really don't want Germany to reach five before we reach six. So
Rally,
we
fam.
need to get that done. So I mean, looking forward to counting down to the World Cup. It should be an exciting piece of tournaments. Can't wait.
Okay. But Kims, before I get into your minute, before you just came off, I was mentioning the Josh and Anglin guy that got into some fitness over. So he's back out here and he's back at IW. So I thought that they would have made a bigger deal out of it based on what we had heard. But it seems like for some reason or the other, he actually got off scotch free. So he's back here and he's back at Harborview. So anything that you want to say about that?
I don't know about scotch free because I think it cost him a place in the US. What you
Well,
think
yeah,
about what you think him out here? It's a trade off. You leave the country and we don't press any charges or whatever it is against you. Listen, what am I gonna say really quickly? As youths, and this is something that we spoke about on the Mail podcast. As youths, we have to know how to control yourself, right? And I don't know the whole details, if a true, a liar, whatever the case may be. But my mother always tell me, say, if it no go so, it nearly go so, right?
yeah, that's
And if and if you put yourself in a particular situation, if you put yourself in a particular environment, then your name likely for call upon something. There are certain things where my name can never ever ever call upon because Hey, man, I will put myself in a particular situation. Two was on them thing there, my name will call upon them thing there. But anything else, you not call upon it because hey, when I put myself in a certain situations, right? So this young man, he was at Inter Miami with an opportunity of a
No,
lifetime.
was it in Miami?
Miami, one of them,
Man, in
one
USL,
of
man,
them.
because Lamar was playing for the same team.
Yeah. All right, all right. Yeah, have an opportunity to make some money and do some little thing for your family back home and so, and then it already become one big disappointment. Back in Jamaica, back in the stereotype, back in the hard life. Remember, I don't know, this was the player. Let me tell you something about him because I was listening to his story. I think there was something where it's either he almost died, one, or him get in a trouble and get off scotch free and then get a second chance at life. One out of the two happened to him. And him get a second chance, land in the United States, play in your USL, just play your football. Brother, let me tell you something, man. You see, woman, brother, and no offense to the woman in the comment section, but woman, they everywhere, brother. Woman, they
Facts.
everywhere. You not have to run
Facts.
down the woman, white, black, pink, purple, green, yellow, woman, they everywhere. And once you are a man about your business and on a mission, woman are gonna want you, woman are gonna like you. Don't give up, don't give away your 3 points. No, when you say half of you, what am I gonna do half of you? How much money they make a half of you? Jamaica nice, but Jamaica expensive, brother. What am I gonna do a
Big
half of
time.
you? What am I gonna do a half of you? I'm just gonna become another number, another statistic. I'm gonna like that. When people get an opportunity over in the States, I'm not to say the States are better roses, but it's a place where you can progress. It's a place where you can move on in
Facts.
life. So we have to be smarter as youths, as black men in this society. We have to be smarter than that. We can't be a statistic for the wrong reasons. So sucks to be him.
I'm glad to say you say it doing a fam that yo, you see in life, a lot of men, especially black men, need to learn that when a woman say no, it means no. Now because you
But
grew up in a right.
yeah, but this is Levon, and I think as Jamaicans, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talk and they must say, oh, all woman me here say, oh, when me say no, me don't really mean no. Me just want you to try a little bit harder.
No man, for me
Me,
tell me no, it's a no.
me God. But me tell me
Simple
no.
as that.
From me even start make up your face, my God, brother. Just make up your face and my God. All right,
Facts.
Look, brother, you can't, I really feel sorry for the young man because I was reading the story a long time ago before anyone don't even mention it. I was reading the story and I was like, this man cannot be so unlucky. And then he was saying, oh, he must say, oh, never touch her. But if you read the story, Levan, the thing is so weird where it's like he must guilty. Or you
Yep.
want somebody end up in our room by yourself. And
Yep.
again, we have to understand as black men, we are guilty until proven innocent. And not the other way around. It's not the
Facts.
other way around. And especially, I don't know if the girl is white, pink, or purple, but if I am supposed to guess, I can tell you she is not black. That is one thing I
She's
can
not.
tell you. See there? See there? See there? God, brother, I saw America work. I saw America work. Me personally, I've never spoke to a white girl in my life. Never. And I probably will never. Because the thing set away, brother. Like it's set away. It just set away. But my hope say him can
Understandable.
probably get a third chance or a fourth chance at life. Come back up here and see what can happen. Because I know Harbour View money can't do what USL money up here they're gonna do for you.
That is facts. And where I learned that in the Kims about certain things, the workplace especially. You see, especially when you work certain places, you're guilty until proven innocent. I've learned this over the years because even when you know not all for doing the situation, they're gonna draw you into it. So
Yeah.
as people we have to learn these things in life and just learn to just walk a chalk line. Walk a chalk line and look behind you, look beside you, and just ensure that hey, we can keep on the straight and narrow. So I just say, I just hope that you can probably get another chance at life and make something out of it because I'm a sucker for stories just like yourself, and I like when people come from a humble beginning and really see them striving. I like
So,
seeing those type of things. So I just really hope that he can come back from it and get another
brother, may
chance
I
as
tell
well.
you, may they have a bridging, may they have a bridging where he will up here and play football and the coach love off the man so much. The man there play Division 1 football, clinical striker. Coach love him. You see him in the newspaper, all of that up here. The man make one mistake. One mistake the man make. Go do something extremely foolish and get sent back to Jamaica. And now him a jump round Premier League, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And when I talk to him and when I look back on life and the man I say, Jono, if I knew this was a consequence I would face for that stupid action, I would never do that. But I'm always telling you, hindsight, people say hindsight of 2020. In reality, it is. But me have a new thing when we say hindsight of 50-50. Because at 50% are your fault. 50% of
Yep.
it are your fault. Because when we look back, we say, oh, we shouldn't do this. And, you always, let me tell you, LeBron, really quickly, what I always do, I always look at the risk and the reward. I say, okay, if me do this, what is the reward I'm going to get from this? Is it worth the possible trouble I'm going to get in? No? All right, then. Same thing. If me have a girlfriend, I'm going to decide to cheat. The girl I may cheat with, she better be 10 times better than my woman. Because if my woman find out and she leave me, then me know, say, all right, then I can't stay with that girl. So certain little things like that, I always try and measure out, but just don't do things I calculate. But ladies, I'm not a cheater. And I was just giving an analogy, all right?
And I'm glad that I brought that up because I always look at life like this. I remove this thing from my brain totally out of my vocab. You see that if me did no mentality, me not have that. I try to look at the pros and the cons of things before I do it. So I think ahead. So as I mentioned, you have to look at the fallback options. You have to look at the consequences. You have to look at every possible avenue before you say, hey, is it worth it? But some people just jump into it and just go ahead. But I know that these are topics that we'll elaborate on when it comes on to the Mills podcast. So eventually get there. But
Absolutely.
anything sports related that you want to touch on before we go?
Well, let's quickly. LeBron and AD back in the lineup tonight. It's must win going forward if they want to make the play in. So can't drop the games. So we'll start tonight versus New Orleans. Let's see what percentage of AD we get. I would know LeBron going to do his thing.
Okay. Jason, anything you want to say before you leave? Let me
Um,
go.
talked already with Brazil field. Do I have anything else sports related? No, just hope say United win tomorrow. That's all.
All right, bro. Don't say a word. Big up, man, and big up every time. And hopefully you'll come on more often because I see that some of the people miss you. So don't
Yeah,
let
man, I
it
go
be just
push
a
man. I go push man, so I go do something, see what I go.
all right, bro. Don't say a
Once
word.
I'm available, me always there, man.
All right. So for everybody in the comment section, big up on yourself. All the viewers, big up on yourself. Same way. As I mentioned, it was the double dose for today. For you guys, first we gave you the World Cup draw live. Other people don't do that, but we gave it to you. And here we were to discuss the English Premier League for you guys once again. So all we ask
Yeah,
of you guys is just to keep on liking, subscribing, sharing, and do the right thing. Big up to Jason for being here, as I mentioned. Big up to Kims. And big up to our producer Josh Collins, if possible. And all you, the commenters, big up on yourself. Keep on supporting Sports Frenzy. And I believe there will be a I'm not 100% sure. Just look forward. I think there will be an NBA show tomorrow, but I'm not 100% on that. And remember, guys, April the 14th will be the big debate between Demo and Devin about Sachin Tendulkar and Laura. And as you know, Demo is on the side of Sachin and Devin is on the side of Laura. So look forward to that. And we'll also have some draft pick coming up soon as well. European draft and all that. And this time around, Jason will be a part of it. Jason run out from the EPL one the last time, but not this time around. You shall be a part of the European draft. So, guys,
I know, would have picked the best side, So when European come, you see what.
let's look forward to all that. A lot of interesting things to look forward to. And also, soon and very soon, we'll also be doing some live match watch alongs soon and very soon, and also some combined 11 and all of those good things. So just look forward to some interesting things from us. I'll ask of you guys again, just keep on subscribing. So until hopefully tomorrow, where you'll see the face of the voice. Big up on yourself, keep safe, and enjoy your weekend. Big up.
Big up, big up.